What if a single drop could open your mind and unleash your worst nightmares? In the substance, a group of friends goes beyond their limits with a mysterious drug, only to find themselves hunted by something, lurking within their own minds. This isn't just a bad trip, it's a fight for survival. Are you brave enough to see what's inside? A famous actress suddenly discovered that her implant had burst out to prevent anyone from noticing. She shoved the implant down to her belly and reached through her navel to get out. To her shock, she found out that the unethical doctor had installed the chicken drumstick in her body. This is the highest-rated thriller film of 2020 24-something. She used the most realistic footage of crazy accidents to get to stay young. With the most famous actions in film history, Elizabeth's excellent acting skills combined with her incredible looks at the drawing brush on the Hollywood Rock of Fame. However, as time passed, the 50-year-old Baja Kittle and I posted a beauty reading show. Unfortunately, even so, her show was ruthlessly canceled by the network, which meant that the market had eliminated Sister Bai. She was like a fly trapped in a glass, barely surviving, waiting to die, dazed and confused. Sister noticed that the COVID billboard was being taken down while she lost his daughter and got hit by her car. Although her body was not injured, it could not hide the pain in Veiji's heart. This scene was noticed by the nurse behind her, who did a thorough checkup on Baiji. Once again, at first, Baiji didn't understand what the person meant, but as she walked to the hospital entrance, she realized there was a USB drive in her pocket. The contents inside completely changed her fate. It turns out that people have developed a special substance that, with just one injection, can rejuvenate the cells in your body and create a younger version of yourself. Isn't that the fountain of youth? However, Sister Bai didn't take this nonsense seriously. She tossed it aside and went to a bar to drown her sorrows, watching the youthful and beautiful girls around her, remembering how she too was once a sought-after queen. To reclaim her former glory, Sister Bai retrieved the USB drive and dialed the number on it. The next day, she received a number 5 or a 3 card, and using the address, she arrived at an underground private clinic. The outside didn't resemble a place where groundbreaking scientific achievements might occur. Nonetheless, she tried to swipe open the door and crawled through a small crawl space, only to find an unexpected scene inside. Along the wall were hundreds of cabinets, and Baiji extracted something from the one labeled 503, reached for the box labeled with the number, and opened it, seeing inside a green syringe filled with some substance, sewing scissors, and thread. Next to it, there was also a set of extraction equipment labeled 1 to 7, a blood exchange apparatus, 2 bags of nutrient solution, and 2 sheets of white paper with 1 cycle per week written on one and a bold statement on the other. Remember, you are the one and only. Sister Bai immediately followed the instructions, stripped off her clothes, eagerly took a syringe full of the small vial, and injected it. However, the next second, she collapsed to the ground. Overcome by intense pain, her eyeballs split into 2, and a leg bizarrely sprouted from her back. When Baiji woke up again, she immediately noticed her hand had become incredibly smooth and youthful again, as if she had returned to being 20. Moreover, enticing yellow light shimmered around her pupils. Instead, I felt radiant. So she hurried to the store to buy a set of sexy workout clothes, and then returned to her old show. I returned to her old show with her striking hooks. She immediately caught the producer's attention. What a gorgeous little angel you're hired. We want a show that's just like, but Sha Bai told the station manager that she has to go back to the countryside every other week to take care of her sick mother. The perfect. Sha Bai was the perfect Sha. Bai was the TV station's focus of development, But as the stabilizer was consumed, she and Baiji went their first exchange after 7 days with the blood flowing seamlessly through the tubes. Baiji, who had been enveloped in darkness for a week, was also being consumed in her agony. Looking at the youthful face in front of her, she couldn't believe she could become so beautiful again. After recharging herself, Baiji went to the TV station to discuss resignation matters, only to be heartlessly turned away by the station manager. However, Jay didn't mind. After planning the rotation schedule with Sha Bai, she went to the clinics to collect the nutrition solution she needed for the next week, and then it was time to enjoy life. It came quickly. 7 days later, it was time for the exchange again, after Little White was afraid others find out her secret. So she dug a large hole in the wall about him and unlocked a white girl inside. Happy to worship in deviation, Little White shall quickly get in and popularity, making her indispensable. Star boxes up his pillow support. Yet 7 days blue by the blink of night, it was time for her to revive. But Sha Bai brought back a fresh face and not linked. And not linked with night, he decided to let it wait one more night to get his movie. Little did she know that her boundary-crossing actions nearly exposed her identity. Just as Xiao Bai and her boyfriend were about to delve into some intimate details, her nose suddenly started bleeding profusely. Xiao Bai rushed to the bathroom, but all the stabilizers were used up. Not wanting to ruin her good time, she heartlessly extracted another vial of bone marrow from Baiji. As the stabilizer entered her thigh, Xiao Bai instantly became stunningly beautiful. However, the next second, Baiji woke up from a nightmare to find Xiao Bai lying beside her as she struggled to the living room. She finally realized what her younger self had been up to last night. There was a note from a boy toy stuck to the window. That's when Baiji noticed that one of her fingers had completely aged. She quickly called the underground clinic to explain the situation. Only to be told that there was no way to fix it, because the time used by the other body also had an effect. And time is irreversible. Angry, Miss Bai threw all the boys' stuff out the door, determined never again. Overextends. However, when she saw the youth and charming Shelby on TV, she found herself unable to resist once more. While going out for a meal, she encountered an old man who suddenly came up and said, "Fauci," was instantly dumbfounded. How did he know her secret? But the next moment, she saw a car with the number 207 on it fall out of the old man's wallet, and a long scar was on his back. It was then that Baiji realized that this old fellow was the male nurse who had introduced her to the mess in the first place. This sentence hit by his here boundary crossing and fled in panic. But then the old man called out to her again. Bai finally realized that the reason this old man is so aged is definitely because of the excessive overuse by his younger self. Arriving home, she bumped into Sha Bai, who had brought a charming replacement friend from last night while she felt deeply alone, so she mustered the courage to call an old classmate. The person on the other end was Baiji, elementary school friend who had been following her career on TV. They recently ran into each other and exchanged contact details, arranging to meet up. Baiji dressed up meticulously, but when she saw Sha Bai's boysened face on the ground, a wave of self-doubt washed over her. She repeatedly redid her makeup. When she was discovered, Xiao Bai hurried to the restroom while others were row-watching the footage. She forcefully pushed the foreign object inside her body down to her abdomen, then reached in and pulled out something that left her utterly show-baied. It was an Uboisen chicken leg. Xiao Bai awoke from her nightmare only to realize it was all an illusion. Heading to the living room, she finally learned what Baiji had been up to during those 7 days. Remember, there is no her and you, and enraged Xiao Bai arrived at the TV station only to be informed that the show had been cancelled. The director was waiting in his office to see her. Just as Xiao Bai feared her secret had been uncovered, the director told her that because her show's ratings had set a new record, they wanted her to host the Spring Festival Gala. You mean the largest show online, with 5 billion viewers. Liv, you cannot talk. That Shelby was thrilled that her beauty was finally recognized by everyone. To avoid delaying the rehearsals, Shelby had to keep using up more of Sister Bai time. When Sister Bai woke up again, she found that not only her fingers, but one entire leg aged completely. She does not respect balance. She's stealing more and more time from me now. Considering the consequences, she's a selfish monkey. Do you want to stop the doctor's question ion? Instantly realize she looked at the bright, giant billboard outside the window, which was like an irresistible poison. Even knowing the consequences, she still could not refuse. I understand. To recover quickly and get back at Shaw, Bai for self-doubt time. Baiji made a bunch of high-calorie food, thinking, let's see how you keep your figure now. I guess just show them right here. Here's your little beauty secret. I guess I just try to be myself, to be sincere and grateful for all that I have. I guess just show them right here. Here's your little beauty secret. I suppose I just try to be myself, to be sincere and grateful for all that I have. Control yourself. When Little White woke up and saw White Sister's battlefield, she decided she couldn't stand this disgusting old woman any longer. She brought in lots of planning to drain all the White Sister's spinal fluid at once. This way, she wouldn't have to exchange with this old hag every week. However, this short-sighted action cost her dearly. You